It is a huge marketplace. They have different needs than the AmLaw 100 firms. For one thing, I mean, they have to be much more cost focused out of economies of scale, and you have to appreciate, particularly with smaller or mid-sized firms, uh, in persuading them to buy something, you really have to think about the cost because with a small mid-sized firm, you got 20 partners in a law firm. That your cost for your product is going to be spread across 20 partners, as opposed to an AmLaw 100 firm where that might be 500 partners. So that makes a big difference if you're talking about reducing my draw by X amount, and you're spreading it on such a limited number of people that persuading becomes different in a lot of ways. Um, but it's a big market, and it is a market that they need, and they appreciate that they need tools to enable them to better compete with the the big law firms who have all these, particularly now in the age of AI, have all these artificial intelligent tools to do all these things that are quite remarkable, but they're also expensive. At least if you use the private facing tools. So that is an important area to small and mid-sized firms. And the other thing that I think is important to realize is when you get into the smaller firms, um, they do more contingency fee work, as I alluded to before. With contingency fee work, getting something done efficiently and faster makes you more money, as opposed to a billable hour business model where doing things efficiently and faster makes you less money. Now, that doesn't mean that you cut corner or don't, or that doesn't mean you overbill, but it does mean that it's a different focus. And so selling products to that kind of law firm that has contingency cases should be much easier when it comes to reducing time spent on substantive legal matters. So there's a big marketplace there, and it's ignored because most startups look at the field and say, "Oh, the money's in big law. They got more money. They got they got more people to spread it across. They've got more needs, and so that's the place to go." But it's a much harder market to crack. Perhaps than the smaller firms because, as you say, they've got their tech stack. They've used, you know, Westlaw, for example, for years. So you're going to have to persuade them not to use Westlaw in a area that a lot of firms do use that tool, and it's a well recognized tool. And so you got a lot of hurdles to jump over to get through that. So yeah, I agree with you that it's a big market, and it's a market that's undersold in a lot of ways.